The Sciforror Film Podcast.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Sciforror Film Podcast. I'm Andy Walker and I'm here with my good friend Badger.
Hello everyone and welcome to another podcast of awesomeness.
Okay. How are you, Badger? Are you all right?
Not too bad. Spent a bit of time working on Backrooms 2. Things are coming up roses, which is good.
Good.
I'm hoping to develop it even more. We've got some wacky animated scenes now, so
Okay.
yeah, it's going to be, we're going into proper weird territory here, and so expect the unexpected.
Fair enough.
But we are now up to an hour and 5 minutes, so
that's pretty good.
It is. Yeah, this is actually nearly as long as a proper film. I'm scared, Andrew.
Yeah, you'll be all right. I mean, I saw that you did. You put the original Ballamore on with your commentary track on it.
That's right. Yeah, and I did another one tonight as well, just because I was a bit bored while I was waiting and sort of chilling out. So I was like, "Ooh, what can I do? Can I make this into a little series?" Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna. Because a lot of people do it with films, don't they? So I thought, why can't I give it a crack? Absolutely. So I'm going to pick some that I've still got the good files of and stuff like that, and I'll just talk over them and things like that. Sometimes the commentary tracks are better than the films. I mean, I love Evil Dead 1, 2, and 3, but the main reason why I watched them over and over again was the fact that Bruce Campbell and all that did the commentary tracks on the original DVD releases,
Yeah. No, I get that. Yes. Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to Balamoron 2 and
yes,
what you do with that. That'd be interesting to see.
It's going to be absolutely bonkers. It really is. Even I'm watching it going and shaking my head and going, I don't know about this, but we're just going to run with
it. we have some films coming up to do for this podcast that I think will give yours a run for their money.
Oh, the thing is, it's like it was one of these things where I was like, how can we do this? And Balamoron 2 is much like all my other projects, where it started off with the skeleton of scenes, and then it's just sort of evolved around itself.
Yeah.
Certainly a very wacky way to film, but
you do whatever you need to do to get it out there.
Yeah, well, Ed Wood is one of my favourite inspirations, so
that's all right.
As you can probably tell,
there are worse people to emulate.
I don't know. Well, I suppose Tommy Wiseau, is it? Tommy Wiseau. He's got a new film coming out, which is like a rip-off of Sharknado, I think.
Really?
So, yeah.
Oh, God.
It's a shark film, yeah.
Dear, oh dear.
Crumbs, who knows?
Right. Shall we go with this then?
Go on then.
We have 2 short films and a feature film as usual, horror this time. And we will start off with the first of our 2 short films, which is called Backrooms.
Yes.
This is on the ACM YouTube channel. The writer and director is Alex Magana.
Okay.
The cast is Shara Short, Kimberly Nicole, and Edward Leonard. There isn't a synopsis for this. So, this is at the moment on the ACM YouTube channel. They've got 3 films, which this is the first of them, and this is the most basic from what I can work out. They're all set in the Backrooms world.
Okay.
But the other two have links to other sort of viral short films like The Smiling Woman and
Yeah.
things like that. So they're kind of linking other sort of viral short films
Yeah.
that have been around for a while into the Backrooms
I mean,
world.
they have done like loads of those films, so they're sort of weaving the universe together. I think they're up to number 10 with The Smiling Woman now and things
Yeah.
like that. So it pretty much has become their IP, you know.
So
Um,
it's like, the second one is called The Smiling Woman in Backrooms or something like
okay, right, yeah. So it is very interesting. Interesting fact about this film,
that. Mm,
something weird happened with the production company, and it launched a computer thing that actually went on and copyrighted a load of the Backrooms stuff. So, like all of the original Backrooms films and stuff, even
yeah.
the ones by the original creator, were all copyrighted, and all the different things were copyrighted and stuff. And they're like, "Why is this happening?" And the original creator said he doesn't want this to happen. He doesn't want the other stuff to be copyrighted because it's meant to be free to use
Well,
idea.
that's it's
So
interesting.
he's at loggerheads now with the company to try and fix it up.
Yeah, because A24, who made the Backrooms film, have
Yeah,
tried taking everything that's to do with Backrooms down off the internet.
that's right. They're trying to make out it was a mistake, but it's. I think it's one of these. It was
Yeah,
a mistake, you know.
yeah. So
Um,
I mean, there's a good chance these ones may not. I don't know how long these ones are going to be up there. It
that's
depends.
right. You know,
Depends.
they've got to be careful with all this stuff. What's going on with Sony and all this sort of thing, and Crunchyroll, which is a subsidiary company to Sony.
Yeah,
It's like they're all these companies are now trying to monopolize things,
yeah,
and the general public has finally woken up. I was about 5 years ago when the games went from £35 to 70 odd. I
yeah,
knew I smelt a rat, and everyone slagged me off to say, "Oh, you're just a cheap ass." And I said, how has it been a cheap ass if a game goes from £35 to double and you're still going to pay it and it's digital and most of the time there's no disc? Everyone just called me a skinflint and all this sort of stuff. And now look at what's happened.
yeah, yeah,
Companies are now monopolizing ideas. A24 have now said, oh, no, no, it's a mistake, but you can guarantee something if he's going on. So,
yeah,
like I said, how long are these films going to be on there? Let's wait and see. But
yeah,
yeah, I
absolutely.
really enjoyed the darkness of this film. I
Yeah,
thought it was really good. The weird, monotonous repetitiveness of this film was fantastic, and I spoke about that earlier on as well. How people sometimes don't get that monotony can be scary in
yeah,
itself,
yeah. I mean, I
especially with Platform 8. That was really scary, not only for the actual scares, but for the weird, eerie, monotonous quiet. And this does well with that as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think this is really good. I mean, it's got the obvious links to the whole Backrooms world and all that sort of thing, but it's still its own kind of thing as
Yeah,
well. It's not just a repeat of what's been done before. It's got a very creepy feel to it,
yeah.
and some really good effects as well. Actually,
Mm,
I thought it worked really well for a. I mean, it's quite a self-contained short film
yeah.
and quite short, and but it works really well.
Mm. And like I was saying to you before, with the OG Backrooms, the mistake that they made was revealing too much of the monster. This one, I don't think you even see what's killing her and stuff, do you?
No, you don't know what's going on really, and I quite like that.
Yeah, there's the mystery there, isn't there? That I'm sure
Yeah,
they're gonna. I mean, I haven't seen the other two yet.
no,
I
no,
think I think I better watch them before they get taken down. So I'm looking forward to sort of seeing if this is an overarching storyline. So that's going to be interesting.
yeah, yeah, and so I'm going to have a watch of the other two, see what they're like. Maybe we'll talk about them a bit more on another later date.
Mm,
Okay. The second of our two short films is from 2020, and this is a film called The Hoarding.
mm.
Uh, this is written and directed by Karen Gillan, who everyone will know from Guardians of the Galaxy, and Doctor Who.
That's right.
The cast is Jamie Brewer, who was in American Horror Story, a few of the stories in there.
Mm,
Karen Gillan. There are a couple of other people, but I can't remember who they are. That might give away too much to say that too much.
yeah.
The synopsis for this says, when Mary starts her first job as a cleaner inside a hoarder's home, she finds much more than she bargained for.
Mm,
Well, I mean, it's a very well made film, and as expected, the acting is excellent.
mm. Yeah, the acting's on point. It's very believable, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, it's very well written. What got me about this was how well paced it was for a short
Yes.
film.
It felt like you were watching, and this is how they've nailed it, is that it didn't feel like it was a middle or an end of a film or a section. It felt like its own enclosed entity. We got
Yeah,
to know the characters really quickly. There was a sense of humour there, but yet the horror was boom straight away. We knew the setting. It was all contained to the house, but that worked. I really enjoyed it.
again, this had this another one that had like it had a very creepy feel to it, and a
Yeah,
few really good jump scares as well.
yeah. Oh, I loved the bit when like they're cleaning and stuff, and then there was the bit on the wall that wasn't there before. That was great cinematography.
Oh yeah,
I just wish that Karen would actually make some more because she's obviously got a mind for horror.
absolutely.
Because I mean, I actually looked on her channel and she's only got like 5 or 6 videos on there, and I was really hoping there was going to be a few other short films.
Yeah, I mean I mean it was made in 2020, but it only actually became available to watch, I think, earlier this year.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I don't quite know. Yeah, maybe she's been holding on to it for some reason, but it was just, I really like it. I thought that the set dressing
Yeah,
in the hoarder's house and the bit where they go into the room where the dolls are and that sort of thing was absolutely brilliantly done.
brilliantly
It all
done. Yeah,
looked really good, and the effects were great.
yeah. Oh, they were fantastic. Yeah.
I mean, I know what you're saying about it being self-contained, and I agree with that, but I would like to see this expanded on because I want to know more about
Mm.
the the characters,
That's right, and obviously you want to know, was it the Necromonicon, things like that. It's so easy. Like Sam Raimi and all that lot are very
Oh,
interested in so saying like, what with the mummy that come out? They're very much like, yes, reference the Necromonicon, bring it all in together.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
you know, I mean, I don't know if you've seen Evil Dead 3 or anything like that,
I,
but donkeys years ago. But the new ones always sort of say that there's more than one Necromonicon now. And a lot of that is to do with Ash going backwards and forwards in time and stuff. So there could be, I mean, everyone
yeah,
references that there's 3, but there could be 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 of those demonic books, all with different powers. So that gives people a lot of scope to do what they want.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I said to you last week, they even obviously they didn't say it was the Necromonicon, and they certainly didn't make it look like the Necromonicon because it was a kids' film. But they definitely referenced the Necromonicon in the new Minions film. So
right,
there you go.
yeah, yeah. No,
So, yeah,
yeah, I agree. I mean, I just want to see her do more of this sort of stuff.
I know. I'm wondering if she's worried it's tied up all with Marvel and stuff, and she has to wait for certain things,
Yeah, I mean,
certain contracts to finish. But
she's
honestly, I really loved it, and I want to see more.
absolutely,
Because
yeah,
if anyone's got a mind for horror and they do it well on a limited budget, they can do a full storyline. Like you say, we've added extras and room for a prequel and all that sort of stuff. Please make more, you know?
definitely. I mean, I would love to see her do more of this
you
sort of
know.
stuff.
Yeah. And like you were saying, the doll room was
Yeah,
creepy as anything. I
yeah.
mean, how they managed to find that many doll parts as well is amazing.
I
But yeah, the set design was great. I mean, can you imagine like having to like they must have found all that stuff because that wasn't CGI or anything. That was
No.
literally a messy house. I wonder if they said, "Oh, have you got any hoarding houses that we can film in?" I would have loved to know the process behind that. Was that set design, or did they actually hire out a messy house? It's interesting, isn't it?
I mean, films I've worked on, when you get people who do the set dressing, and they kind of like, everything's got to be in the right place at the right time and all this kind of thing. And if you cut, they have to move things back so that if you're going to take a second take, just like, I don't know, must have been a hell of a job to do the
Yeah,
set dressing on that film.
cool.
But
That's what I do wonder if it is. I need to look at the credits again to see if they did actually hire out a house.
yeah,
It's so interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a great film. I loved it.
But if by chance Karen comments on this, if we're like super duper lucky, please do some more of this because it was great.
Absolutely.
And obviously with a limited cast as well, the fact that there was maybe 4 people in the cast,
Yeah.
2 to begin with, but we're not going to spoil it. So most of the film had 2 people bouncing off each other in a haunted house. Fantastic.
Was really good. Was.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Our feature film this week is from 1989, and it's a film called Cutting Class.
Yeah.
Yes. The writer for this is Steve Slavkin,
Yes.
and the director was Rosbo Pallenberg. These people have great names. Now, the cast is interesting. Donovan Leitch is actually Donovan Leitch Jr.
Okay.
He is the son of 60s sort of British hippie balladeer Donovan.
Right.
So that's kind of odd. Jill Schloen, Brad Pitt in his
Yeah.
second only film. He'd only made one sort of romantic drama before this. Roddy McDowall, who most people know from Fright Night and being in the original Planet of the Apes films and lots of other films like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Martin Mull, Brenda James, Mark Barnett, Robert Caldin, and Eric Bowles, and there are lots more. They're all on IMDb if you go to check them out.
Yeah. I do have some interesting trivia for us at the end once we've finished because I was very curious about this film, so I did watch some videos and some interesting trivia, but I'll share with you in a mo.
Okay. The synopsis for this says a teenage girl befriends a suspected high school slasher. What I was interested in, when you go on IMDb, it lists this as being a parody.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
I'm not sure it was.
Yeah, it's one of these things where it's like, I think the director, because of the time, there was loads of Friday the 13th, you had Halloween, all this sort of thing. So the slasher genre was bulging with stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, this is way before Scream and everything, but the slasher genre was literally bursting to the seams. So they tried something different. They added comedy in to make it different. And then they're like, okay, so it didn't quite work. So we're going to make it out to be a parody rather than a straight slasher. But originally, it was going to be a straight slasher, no comedy or anything. And then they rewrote the script, added comedy in, made it out to be like a parody of sorts, and tried to really change things up. But it was one of these things that nearly worked, but it didn't because of the overarching horror aspect, and everyone was so. It's like the fall of horror at that time. Everyone was bored of it.
But it was kind of like it was odd because it was like the comedy was really kind of like base comedy. It was all about sort of like old blokes hitting on high school girls, things like that,
Yeah,
and slightly dubious stuff, things like that in it.
yeah, and
And
creepy headmasters being weird.
yeah, and there was a few other bits of comedy as well, that sort of thing. But the thing that got me was the actual kind of horror storyline was actually incredibly dark about this guy who'd gone through a mental breakdown and become a psychopath, basically.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's
exactly.
kind of like the two mixing together didn't really work
This is
properly.
what I mean. They literally had to shoehorn comedic moments in.
Yeah,
That's what they were. But it actually would have worked better as a straight horror, I think.
absolutely.
You
I,
know.
I know you. What I was interested in, I thought was interesting was the start of it, the beginning part, where the girl's dad goes hunting.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Without Warning, the Alien film that we did a
Yes.
while back, where it starts off with the guys hunting in the swamp and they get attacked by the alien things.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of that.
Yeah. You did get those vibes. I agree. Yeah.
It was
It's just a
weird.
shame they didn't go a more serious route. I think it
Yeah,
would have been
absolutely.
a lot better.
If it had been dead serious, I think it would have worked a lot better because the
Mm.
bits were comedy really didn't work very well.
Mm.
And, I mean, some of the acting is a bit naff,
Yes.
but
This is another thing where they were saying that everyone's very inconsistent, where there was a lot of breaks in the filming.
yeah,
Like it's like 1 minute the actor would do a great performance, and then like a few days later, or they're tired or whatever, so they just phoned it in, and it was very inconsistent. Yeah, and I think that's part of why the film doesn't work. It feels like a jumble sale.
yeah. I mean, yeah, you got some bits in it that are just a bit odd. You got bits in it that are a bit cringy because of the naff comedy and the sort of creepy headmaster.
Yeah, a lot of the
There,
jokes have dated badly. Yeah,
there are a couple of quite funny bits, sort of thing. Um, but I don't know. It's there are some odd things for me, like it, at some point,
mm.
Brian, the character played by Donovan Leitch, gets a scratch on his face, and nobody mentions the fact that he's suddenly got this scratch on his face that
Yeah, yeah,
nobody knows anything about.
yeah.
Nobody
It's
says to
bizarre.
him, "Where'd you get that from?" or "What happened?" It's
Yeah,
just got this sort of bloody scratch on his face. And it's like,
yeah.
what? Yeah. And
And
the
of course, another weird thing is timing wise, it doesn't really work because you've got the dad
yeah,
being shot with an arrow to the gut at the start of the film, and then no spoilers, of course. By the end of the film, he's still alive, wandering around with an arrow in his chest for a week.
yeah.
so,
It's
like,
it's like
what?
I, I got about halfway through the film, and there have been what I think by the time I got to this point, there have been three kills.
Yeah,
And my first thought was, I was sitting there watching. I thought, where have the bodies gone?
yeah,
Why? Nobody seems to notice that these kids have disappeared until right near the end. And the other thing is, every other film like this I've ever seen, as soon as one or two kids disappear, that school would have been running with police.
that's right. Yeah,
You only see the
yeah.
police about twice in the film.
Yeah, I think they sort of allude to where all the bodies have gone at the end. Like you
Yeah,
sort of can guess that they've been burnt or something.
but it's
But they
it's kind
don't
of like
actually specifically say that, though, do they?
no, and it's just a bit like nobody's sort of like saying nobody's saying, oh, wonder where she's gone or where he's gone. None of the
Yeah,
other kids. It's just kind of like weird. I wondered if it was just oddly edited or if there were bits
yeah,
missing from the
yeah.
film.
It does feel like that a bit. That it was very jumbled and stuff like that. Because, like you say, surely they. I mean, obviously Scream was its own, unique thing
Yeah.
way before that. But that definitely, as soon as someone gets killed, the police are there. It
Yeah.
allows,
Well,
you know,
every other
it
slash
maybe the film would have flowed better if they'd have had those little bits in there.
every other slasher movie I've seen, if it's at school, as soon as
Yeah,
one kid goes missing or one teacher's killed, you've got police there, you've got detectives there trying to find out what's
Yeah,
going on, and look, they're talking to the kids, an interview with them, but there was nothing.
you know, I mean, at least with Friday the 13th, they have that sort of loophole of Camp Crystal Lake's the arse end of nowhere. So,
Yeah,
and there's no phones, so they can't call anyone before the mobile phone era. So, it's one of these things where that sort of makes sense. But like you say, they're in a school, they've got technology, they've got phones, they've got all these different things, and,
even
it should
even
have worked.
even if you take things like Christine, although the school wasn't running with cops, you saw cops there, and there was one detective who was leading the investigation, who was interviewing the kids and talking to them about what had happened. Nothing in this one.
No, yeah, I think that was a misstep. I
Yeah.
know sometimes people moan about the cop subplot, but it's needed in this sort of film.
And then when you finally do see them and they're
Yeah,
chasing after the Brian because he's gone on the run,
yeah.
they've got the dogs in the forest, and one of the dogs goes up and finds the dad who's been missing because he got shot in the chest, and you don't see the rest of the police find him, and the dog just wanders off. It's like, what was that about?
It doesn't make any sense.
No.
Like you say, I do think having a couple of minutes here and there with police, even in the background, questioning people would
Yes.
have added to it.
Well,
Maybe they thought that was part of it, that maybe that was part of the humour back then, that no one really cared that all these kids were getting bumped off. I don't know, like it's that whole, what's it called? There's a similar sort of thing, where I can't remember what it's called. It's like an old fashioned 80s film about a load of girls who kill off like each other.
right.
Do you know the one I
I'm
mean?
not
They
sure.
made a modern remake of it as well, and yeah, it skips my brain now. But yeah, it's that sort of thing, isn't it? It's like, oh yeah, they're just disappearing because they're like, the youth of America are, not,
Yeah.
not even noticed. It's come back now with the phone generation, isn't it? The dad and the mum are on their phone constantly. I think they referenced it in a Netflix horror called Fear Street, where literally they're totally oblivious to what's going on around them.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they were going for, but it didn't quite land.
Maybe. I mean, there are some quite good kills in this, as far as
Yeah,
the slasher part of it goes.
I like the trampoline one with the flag. That was good.
Yeah, there are some, there are some decent sort of kills in it, and I think they worked well. And as you say, I think it would have been better just to do it as a straight horror film, cut out all the comedy stuff, and just kind of,
Yeah.
you know, there you go. It's not a bad film. It's not great, but it's not,
No,
you know,
it whiles away an afternoon. It's not something I would watch
yeah,
again, but
no.
it wasn't too bad watching. I wasn't like, oh my god.
You do
It
kind of
wasn't.
wonder, though, watching this, how the hell Brad Pitt ever actually became a big
Well,
star.
well, we're going to get into that in a bit. We're going to get into that in a bit. How he managed to uh, launch himself from this, because what happened was he was dating his co-star, and at the time she was far more famous than him. Lots of magazine exposure, lots of things
Right.
like that. So, but he absolutely hates this film. If I ever meet Brad Pitt, I'm certainly if I mention this, I'm going to duck. Because
Yeah.
there's a rumor he's poo-pooed it, but when they say, it's like naysay too much.
Mm.
Apparently, he went to a store or like a jumble boot sale type thing, whatever they call them in America, bought up copies of this film, went home and smashed them to bits.
Well, it
you know,
wouldn't surprise
and
me,
and and he literally is like, no, this film doesn't exist. I didn't do this. And I think he literally wants to wipe it from existence.
I
That's
mean,
why
I
it's
can
not.
understand that.
Yeah, But on the springboard of it, he did quite well afterwards because of his socializing links, and it was able to get him into Hollywood as a bounce, off. So
Yeah.
and obviously he's become a lot more famous than a lot of the people that were in the film with him.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Obviously,
mean,
The gentleman that plays the headmaster that was in Fright Night, he obviously never reached like the fame aspect
well, I
that he
mean,
wanted. But
the thing was, he'd already been there because he'd been acting since he was a kid. He was in the very first Lassie film
I'm okay.
with Elizabeth Taylor.
I'm okay.
You know,
Yeah,
he'd already kind of done all of that in the 50s and 60s, and that he did lots of black and white horror films and science
ah,
fiction films and things like that. And as I say, he did all he was in all of the original Planet of the Apes films.
yeah,
So, you know, he'd already kind of done his fame bit,
yeah.
and he was
And
kind of coming down the other side.
that's right. And the bloke who plays the dad, they thought that was a weird choice. Because he
Yeah,
was. Yeah, so there was lots of weird choices in this one, but like I said, Brad Pitt hates this film with a vengeance. He really
I
does.
can understand why, really, I really can.
Yeah.
But
It's
you know,
got
I mean, I would say, you know, if you want a bit of a kind of, if you want to have a laugh looking at somebody who's become massively famous before they were actually any good, this is
Yeah, that's it.
worth
Yeah,
a look.
definitely.
I mean,
Because he,
he's
you know,
not great in this.
no, no, not at all. Another story apparently is, I'm only going by what I heard on this YouTube video,
Yeah.
so I can't say it's 100% truth. But apparently, during a break in the filming, Brad Pitt would flip the bird to people who uh, drove past, and apparently, one person phoned the police and complained, and the police all raided the set.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I always like, I like watching these early films of famous people because you kind
Yeah,
of like look at it and go, how did you ever manage to get away from this?
yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, obviously Johnny Depp's acting in the original Nightmare on Elm Street was pants.
Yeah, well, yeah, but he was young.
Yeah, yeah,
But
but
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, a lot of them. The only one I haven't seen, I still want to see was oh God, what's his name? Tom Hanks.
Oh yeah,
One of Tom Hanks' first films was a slasher movie.
was
Um,
it
yeah, and he played the kind of character, you know, in Scream, the very
right?
first one. You have that guy who knows all about horror movies.
Yeah.
He played that sort of character in this film.
Okay, maybe we should put that on the list because I've
Yeah,
never
I'll
seen
have to
that.
see if I can find it, and
Yeah,
we'll have a watch of that. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
definitely. There you go. Okay, so there are three films. We have Backrooms, which we thought was a good, creepy short film, and works well within the Backrooms universe. It's worth having a look at that. We're going to have to check out the other ones. The Hoarding, by Karen Gillan, which is a brilliant film, and we want to see more. Karen Gillan, if you're watching or listening, we want to see more horror from you.
100%,
And
100%.
Cutting Class from 1989, which was a bit naff to
A
say
bit
the
naff.
least.
It's okay if you want to watch it and see what life was like in
Yeah,
the late 80s, early 90s.
yeah,
It's like a slice of American pie. If you want to see that,
something like
then,
that.
then it's well
Okay,
worth it.
there we go. Next, what am I doing next? Am I talking? I'm saying next. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Um, oh yes. Um, for those of you who didn't see there was an extra episode, an interview with an American filmmaker who I found out after I started. I um, was planning to interview him, who also apparently used to be a wrestler.
Ooh,
So there you go. Never quite got up to the kind of heady heights of the WWE, but wrestled nonetheless. Um, so that was Vinny Vineyard, and that's up already. And this weekend there will be an extra episode where I'm interviewing Lisa Belcher, who was the woman behind House of Abraham.
oh, okay.
So that will be interesting. Our next our next normal episode is going to be science fiction. It's an independent film that's available on Foursome. And it's going to be a treat.
Oh gosh.
I know very little about it apart from the I've watched the trailer that's on YouTube. Yeah. It's one I think might give you one of your films a run for its money.
Or give me some great ideas.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still not over my wasted time with American, the Alien in Heartland. I am like, I'm never going to get that time back.
No, well, I'm hoping you won't feel the same way about this one, but I'm not going to guarantee it. So there you go.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much, Badger. It's been great to have you on as always.
Always a pleasure, sir. Always a pleasure.
Everybody out there, thank you very much for watching and listening. Please like, subscribe, and pass around the information that we are here.
Indeed.
Thank you very much.
Indeed.
See you again soon.
Thank you very much. See you again soon. Bye for now.
The Sciforror Film Podcast.